Call the meeting to order. It's August 3rd, 2020. Take a roll call, Matt.
Rick Larson.
He's on.
Here.
All right. Lynn Leaders.
Present.
Brett Larson.
Here.
Carrie Weedy.
Here.
Dolores Silkworth.
Here.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to read a statement. Okay, next thing. Okay, so the public hearings will be conducted pursuant to the commission rules of procedure. We will first hear from the report of the planning director on the detailed information and observations regarding the request before the commission, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we'll take the testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon the completion of the applicant's testimony, I will call upon members of the audience wishing to be heard concerning the request. Any persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those that oppose it. At any time during the presentation of the testimony, the members of the commission may interrupt to ask questions or to make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of the testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the commission. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, I will entertain a motion from the commission to close a public hearing on the request. The commission reserves the right to ask questions of any member of the audience. However, we will not hear any unsolicited statements unless the public hearing is first opened. Each speaker addressing the commission shall step forward to the podium and state their name and address where they live before proceeding with their testimony or evidence. This commission shall not be bound by strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that it may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rules on all questions relating to the admissibility of the evidence, which may be overruled by the majority of the commission. Continuances may be granted by the commission in case for good cause shown to any interested party that has entered their appearance. The commission may request a continuance of the hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for such other reasons as the commission may find sufficient. In such case, we shall state the specific reason for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of the commission will be made at a public meeting by motion made, seconded, and a polling of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amended thereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of this commission. So with that, on the case of ZMA 2020-01, Matt, you want to cover that?
We would do a motion to open.
Okay, yeah. Make a motion to, is there a motion to make?
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
Okay, seconded.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay,
Aye.
motion approved. Public hearing is now open. Go ahead, Matt.
As submitted in the staff report, this is, we went through the preliminary subdivision. We went through final plat process on this piece of ground in order to, for the Lees to purchase this property and potentially construct their veterinarian hospital on it. And then this is the second phase of that, which would be rezoning it to a C2 district, which is intended to primarily provide for those businesses and commercial establishments serving general retail shops and needs of those persons living in the unincorporated areas of the county. Properties located have direct access to hard surface road, and what the C2 district would add to that would be then veterinarian hospitals or clinics, provided that all phases of the business are conducted upon the premises within the enclosed building and where noises and odors are not evident to the adjacent properties. That's kind of that's what the code states on that. So the zoning, the site and area review, the zoning classification of the area and the rural properties is the R3 district, which is the urban residential, and the C2 general commercial, which is where the existing vet clinic sits in that kind of Mr. Ed's flagpole shop area. And then all of that, which is surrounded butts up right against the city of Council Bluffs. And this is where we went through a lot of work with the city of Council Bluffs and different agreements to be able to get the subdivision piece of it signed off on from them. The access to the subject property is gonna be gained directly from Valley View. It's a paved county road. It's kind of a joint county-city thing, but I believe that the county takes, kind of control in this area down through here. They always do road use agreements to where if they have a road that's split, then the two, whether it's the city engineer and the county engineer, kind of come together either every year, every other year, and determine who's going to manage the maintenance on that road and snow removal, and they kind of trade back and forth on different roads, which they have, try to equal it out. The 2016 DOT traffic flow map indicated a flow of approximately 5,400 vehicles per day. The road will be able to accommodate the new vet clinic, and the city has reviewed the entrance to the property, and it meets their criteria for annexation when that occurs. So with that, I'd like to kind of invite the applicants up to show you overall presentation of what they're.
So applicant, come forward, state your name and address.
You want me to?
Okay. And then talk about what you want to.
I'm representing the Strobians. I'm Mark Anderson,
Okay.
and
your address.
3 Sundall Avenue, Council Bluffs. I brought a rendering of what they're looking to do. It'll be a top-notch new facility, animal clinic. I think it sits on the land where it meets all the setbacks that the city is requiring. That one thing I think it's really probably pretty good is most of the traffic is gonna come in and actually go out in front, not around the neighbors, or so most of the motion of the cars is out toward the front, meaning to the west. Staff is to the rear. It's a building that's probably one of the best facility in Council Bluffs for animal clinics that we have. And it's gonna be quite a monument. It's gonna be very, very nice.
Right here?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you say what that setback distance is that you're planning on right now from Valley View to the building?
I don't have that on me. I'm with the plans, but it's all been done per code for the county.
Is it different, the code for the county different, Matt, than the city? Setbacks?
There's minor differences within them. We did work with I know they worked with the city on some of their, the parking arrangements, because the city does have some different requirements on there for that.
So it means county and city
Yes.
requirements.
Right.
And the recommendation from the county and the city on this is what?
The city didn't offer a recommendation for it. The recommendation from our office is that we approve the application to change from that, but I just thought you wanted to hear from.
Yep, right.
Hear more
Sure.
on the project from the applicants.
Just a little detail about the facility will be landscaped. It has, it'll be probably a concrete parking lot. Concrete's cheaper than asphalt right now, it's actually better. So it has a nice concrete parking lot, landscaped. They'll have storm sewer, right out to the ditch, out to the front. It's all been designed by engineers. The building itself will be a wood-framed building with some structural steel, but then you have brick veneer, and then what we call EFS, I call it stucco drive-it, is gonna be what the sort of tan material is made out of. And then just a wood, and inside the facility is a very set up, very nice facility for the animals and patrons to come in and go left and right for dogs and cats. And it's high tech. I think you've got at least two operating rooms in the facility, and it's very nice. You guys want to add anything, Joe?
You just come, go ahead.
What's the approximate square footage?
6,000.
6,000?
Yeah.
Maybe you said it already, I missed it if you did. Okay.
And then just come state your name and address again.
I'm Barbara Lee. So I've been a vet for 38 years, and my husband's a vet for 41.
And an address?
21515 Greenview Road, Council Bluffs, Iowa. And our daughter decided to become the third generation veterinarian. I'm a little scared.
Oh, no, you're good, you're good.
Don't worry.
So,
Just
we
tell the
wanted to
story.
build a beautiful clinic for her. BDA architect from New Mexico built this,
Sure.
and they only build veterinary clinics. So they know about sound control and flow, and I mean, it's like state of the art.
Sure.
Even before COVID, like when you come in, there's gonna be divisions for people to sit. There's 8 exam rooms so people can get in exam rooms right away.
Okay.
My euthanasia room is having a door to go right outside, so people don't have to go back up front. The surgery has got a HEPA filter and UV light, oxygen, and it's gonna be a state-of-the-art clinic. And we wanted to just carry the legacy.
And Barb had made a point to me, when this was all getting brought up and designed, was that this was what they call, it's a safe space clinic, right? So dogs and cats don't have contact with each other.
Yeah, fear-free.
Fear-free, yeah. So it not only de-stresses the animals that are a part of it, but then it also, if the animal's stressed, then the person who's with it's gonna be stressed as well. So it de-stresses the environment all around by not having the contact in between
Yeah.
those two.
Cat side door
Yeah.
and dog
Yeah,
side
and
door.
then they did sound, so the cats don't have to hear and the dogs, it's all, I mean, the kennel is gorgeous, it's even tile, it's just gorgeous. And then the kennels are gonna be on the other side of Bonnie's. We only let the dogs out in the morning, and at lunch, they come right back in, I never let them stay outside.
Good.
And they'll be on the other side. And Mulhall already came out to the place to look at, getting hedges or whatever, because they said either a hedge or a fence. I think a hedge looks prettier than a fence.
Sure.
So he's already come out and looked at it to make sure we can do what the city asked me to do for that. We're only 200 feet from where we are already. About 200 feet, so we're like not moving too much.
Right.
And it's
From the other place would be
from
200 yards.
from where we are now.
200 yards.
200 yards, yeah. Yeah, so we'll be 200 yards closer to Bonnie.
What's the approximate, the approximate distance from Bonnie's property to this parking lot?
You mean the house or the,
We have
Well, I guess from her property.
Yeah, we have 2.8 acres, and we're gonna, build it as far away from Bonnie's as possible.
Closer to the north.
Yeah, closer to the north, yes.
So the kennel structure they have,
It's enclosed,
you have this piece here, that's your kennel structure?
yeah.
And how many different, do you know how, there's 8 different areas in there for the
Yeah.
dogs to be in? And you don't do the boarding, right? It's just, this would be for the animals that are
Yeah,
coming in their surgery?
We do take care of our own clients if they want us
Take care of
to,
your own
but I
clients.
don't advertise as a kennel.
Okay.
But I do, if one of my clients, like a diabetic, or my clients want us to board, I do board. But I don't leave them outside at all because it's too hot or too cold, and they just go out to the bathroom and they come right back in. And it will be enclosed, like what I have now isn't enclosed. So this is enclosed, so that should take down lots, any noise.
looks good.
200 from her existing.
So I think that was it, but it's a state-of-the-art clinic, and it's gonna be pretty. It's all stucco, it's really pretty.
Looks nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else want to come forward and speak in favor? So anyone else want to come forward and speak in favor?
Sure.
Okay, Jody Strobing, 21515 Greenview Road. Obviously, I'm in favor because I'm part of the project and part of welcoming my daughter back. When I came back 41 years ago, my father redid the clinic. I don't think it's at where I'm at now most of the time, and I don't think it's changed any since then. Anyway, we're still, we don't board animals, but we are set up to board animals. So I have 26 runs outside that are covered, and I can keep animals out all the time should I choose, but it's really too much work. I have 4 dogs there right now. We don't intend to increase boarding because boarding is a lot of work. I mean, it's
Separate business.
yeah, it really is. So
We don't advertise it.
that's not in our plans, although I would possibly consider, I've talked about considering actually turning my existing facility into a boarding facility and joining the other practice full-time when it comes on. Especially since the pandemic hit, I'm having a lot of difficulties with staff and everything else. We're real busy, but we can't take care of clients, so. We have two, besides my daughter, two other new veterinarians coming in. So we're looking to just improve animal care in Council Bluffs. Thank you.
Thanks. Any discussion amongst us?
I am curious how much space there is between the parking lot and that property line. I don't know if that is, or Matt, is there something, will that be looked at when you have a site plan and building plans to review, I would imagine?
Correct.
So, yeah, so that's where you would confirm that it does meet existing codes.
Yeah, and the city has put some even tighter criteria on it than what we have. And so the city has reviewed it, and then it has been through our plan review, if I'm correct in saying that. I know the plans are sitting over there.
Plans are sitting there. I think we're waiting for information from Mark for the septic system, so it's not complete yet. The plan review.
On just the septic piece of it's waiting to be reviewed?
Yep.
Okay. So that's kind of where the project sits at right now.
That's not your direction.
That's good.
Why do you want to know?
Yeah, anybody wanna,
Well, it can't, because that's not the lot.
anybody else wanna, opposing, wanna come forward?
Yes, please. I'm not saying I'm opposing, this is the first I've actually seen any of that, so.
Sure.
Come on up.
State your name and address.
Chris Curran, 14987 Valley View Drive. We're right next to it, so I was just more interested in what was going on, and there are some concerns, obviously. And I didn't realize, so I talked to the existing owners when they were out there doing some surveying, and so they said, hey, they're looking at doing commercial, but I didn't know what the lot was gonna look like or anything like that. So actually, just last week, I went on and I saw that it is now changed in potco.org. So they actually show the lot line. There are concerns because in fact, Dr. Lee, they're our vet. I love them all. They're great. So they've taken care of our dogs forever. And that whole area over there is really nice as well. I like where they're at. It works out well just for the area. So my concern is, I was thinking, all right, we'll have something similar to that. So, but the way that lot is set up, I have concern now because it's butt up right against it's our property line, and then it's gonna be right across the fence, it's gonna be a parking lot. So, and that's a good question, how far back is that parking lot? And then it says staff parking, is there gonna be something that's gonna differentiate the clients versus staff? Or, my guess is it's just gonna be a parking lot, so.
I want my staff to park there. We'll all get there early. So
Most people like to park by the door.
Yeah.
So that would be one reason. Currently, no one parks in our staff spaces in the building we're in now.
They park everywhere, because you guys are so full all the time,
Right, yeah,
so,
yeah.
you are
Well,
definitely.
because Savannah Fillmore won't let us park there. There's
Right.
signs, Savannah Fillmore only.
Yeah.
Well, they got a few.
Yeah, so my concern is it's truly butted right up to the property line. So is there gonna be any trees or any type of differentiating between, is there any landscaping? I see it here on the front towards Valley View.
When I talked to Gibbons, he said I was gonna be quite far from you guys, because it's gonna be over to here. So he said I needed to get hedge here because I thought I needed to get a hedge here. So it's not abutted against your property, I don't believe.
Well, our properties are adjoining,
Yes, but
Well, of
not
course, yes.
but then there's a ditch, and then there'll be green
green
space,
space.
and then there'll be
Then there'll be-
a lot. And I
Yeah, 'cause
don't
we're
know,
over as far to the north as we can. Gibbons said it was.
Are those
several-
marked? Because I don't know what those stakes look like. I don't know what the stakes mean when I'm
Yeah.
looking at them. So I see a stake, but I don't know what
The orange
that.
one on the very left is my north.
The orange one to the very.
Yeah. It's
To the north.
To the
Okay.
north is that. So we're gonna park there, but, when I talked to, is it Mark Gibbons, he said that where the clinic is gonna be set, is there's gonna be it's not abutted against your place.
Pam ran over to grab the site plan.
Yeah.
Won't there be a lot of traffic going in?
Yeah, I see, that was the
The
other thing,
entrance,
that,
that's
the
gonna
entrance
be-
is right there next to, that's butted up right against so you're gonna be turning right after
Well,
our.
I don't, that's what,
Should we change it
Pam went over to get
entrance?
the site plan, because I don't think this represents the lot itself. I think you're looking at this as it represents, like that represents a property boundary, and I don't
It's
think
not.
that.
It's not.
No,
When you
no,
look at the
no.
site plan,
And that's,
the property boundary is
Yeah.
actually way down here.
Right.
And so that would give you a better visual
Yes.
representation of what that's gonna look like over seeing that as a property.
and then it's just the overall concern of, and I'll ask any of you, so the overall concern of, do you want a building right next to your house? Would you want one right next to your house with a parking lot?
It's not next to your house.
Well, no,
Right
but
there.
it's the next
Right.
property over,
Yeah.
right? So, you got the light, you've got, so it's gonna have light pollution, you're gonna have just the extra noise from people coming and going. Cause you're gonna have lights in the parking lot, right? So, and that's gonna be right up, those are gonna be shining in
My bedroom window.
her bedroom window, so.
Well, I won't put any in the staff, on the south side.
Well, sadly,
We'll
as
just
Valley
do
View
it.
develops, that's what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
'cause
Well,
it's-
that's a huge property right there, and that's not all gonna be commercial, that'll probably end up being residential is what it's gonna end up being, right?
Across the street.
Yeah.
Is that
No,
right?
not across the street, back the rest of, it's all the old Heck Nursery,
Right.
so it's,
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. Well, I guess I'm looking at this and it's, the zoning right now is R3, is that correct? Matt?
Correct.
So,
Is that agriculture?
yeah,
It's urban transitional.
what does that mean?
Uh,
So it's residential, obviously. Does that mean, apartment buildings, or what does that mean? My question.
Pam, would you pull up what
it
the
means
R3?
up to 3 families, or 2 family, I think, 2 or 3 families.
R3
So
category,
this
what's
is
that mean?
representation
R3,
of the entire lot.
so that would be,
So you can see your property.
It's okay, it's okay. Babe.
Unattached graph.
Do we know how far that is?
oh, you had to run all the way.
So that's
Yeah.
the ditch right here, isn't it? Would that be the ditch?
No. Well. Proposed contour, the ditch is down here.
R3, urban residential.
So that's contour of the ditch, okay.
Yeah.
Urban residential, and that means what though? How
Do you
much-
know what's allowed in the urban residential?
Mark Gibbons said it was so far from the south that I
This is-
wouldn't
this
have to
will tell
put
you.
anything
This is
there.
25
He said
feet
that there's
on average of these
so
lines
far from there.
for a parking stall.
To the north, he
And so
wanted
your
me
property's
to,
over
but not
here.
the south.
Were you guys
So there's a
talking about
distance,
that?
quite a distance away from it.
Yeah, it's not abutted against
It's
it.
currently zoned
They're
R3, and
actually,
they're
this
just wanting to know
driveway
what
is
that
almost in
means.
the middle.
So what can they put on that property today?
Yeah, but when you look at on potco.org, it's obviously it's deeper than it is wider, right, from Valley View. So if Valley
Excuse
View,
me.
you can
Sorry.
see here, so it's going farther to the east than it is. So
It's right there.
there's not a lot of,
But if you were looking at this drawing is way over here.
right,
It's their property, that,
This is representation of the.
Oh, the entire piece.
Entire piece. This is, you can see the contour lines here. This is the ditch.
there's an abutment right here, so
And
that-
is there
not
a ditch
as-
already right
so
there?
where that
Yeah.
drainage.
Okay.
right, and their land is still
Drive
further
is
over that one.
almost.
Right, no, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
A lot.
And in fact,
You know,
I was surprised when I saw the line, I'm like, oh, the hill that I mow, I'm like, that's
And
their
that
land, so.
house is.
But it
over
was
here.
never ever,
Oh, do you mow
The
on
house
the
is
other
over
side
here.
of the white fence?
yeah.
That looks nice.
Yeah, that ditch,
Keep it up.
that
Keep it
ditch. Yeah, so,
So this is,
He
dash here
does a good
represents
job.
a
Potential that
This
they
is,
could
this
put a road
isn't actually deceiving because this
Yeah,
is almost in the middle of the lot.
Yeah, the shrubs.
Yeah.
it'd be nice if this whole picture, cause,
honestly.
this is pretty and that's pretty, but I don't care, I don't care about that, I care about what's
I
gonna be
would
there.
want something right next to it.
But Mark Gibbons said, he goes, oh, you're so far from the south, you don't even have to do anything. He
I can
says,
see if there was a
I'm that far
house
from
right
you.
here.
I'm quite a ways, I mean, I'm not up against you, I'm over to the other side. And I can make sure that
And
we
the
don't,
traffic flow would be essentially the same, because the same people are gonna be coming in and out. It would be, closer, obviously.
and then when we put lights out here, I'll make sure we don't
I
put it
call
on
them
this
up.
side,
Okay,
because that's,
checks off.
it would just be in the front.
Or, we wouldn't
Okay,
need
so-
light,
Do you want-
staff
Then-
lights not lit at
All
night.
three, do you want me to read
Well,
what?
Yeah,
allotted
R3.
are?
So what we're gonna do is,
Okay.
read R3, we're gonna turn back here, since we're running the show. So go ahead.
Okay, R3, zoning district, principal uses allowed. Churches and other places of worship, family homes, platted major subdivisions, platted minor subdivisions, public schools and private schools, public recreational areas and facilities, including parks, playgrounds, golf courses, community centers and similar uses, single-family dwellings, towers with a height not exceeding 100 feet, 2 family dwellings. And then conditional uses, daycare, nurseries and nursery schools, governmental structures and uses other than sanitary landfills, private, non-commercial, recreational areas and facilities, including parks, playgrounds, golf courses, country clubs, tennis clubs, swim clubs, similar uses, towers with a height exceeding 100, and transformer stations, booster stations, utility stations. So all of those are conditional uses.
So when you really think about the change in zoning that is happening to a property, right? Although the Lees and Strobings are the ones here to talk about because of the specific business that they want to do.
Correct.
I mean, in all, it relates back to the type of use that any business that could be potentially inserted into that if, God forbid, the Lees ever decided to quit being a veterinarian on the parts of it. And so that's, one of the considerations to take in there. And when you look at some of the uses that could already be in there as far as schools, churches, all those
So variety.
traffic generating activities, things.
With the current zoning,
Mhm.
that was
Right.
what happened, so.
So they'd have the same issues with the lighting too. I mean, if there's
Parking lots.
in the parking lots, that's already, yeah. Understood.
So that's why on the city side of things, when the Strobings had to go through on the city side to get things different, and that's where they came up with all of the different landscaping materials that they had to use and screening methods and design criterias, is all to help limit those different effects that get transitioned in there, because it is an urban transitional zone. I mean, it's.
Sure.
What can you expect on the north side of the building?
Well, there'd be nothing.
Well, sometime,
Well,
maybe something.
right now, it's not been zoned for anything. It's still,
Is it,
The north side, isn't that where the driveway there's gonna be a driveway for Mike and Jerry's house eventually, and then there's the driveway for that little house that's in there already, and then comes there, so Jerry wanted it divided such that they wouldn't become landlocked in with this other house.
sure,
And, I assume they're gonna sell that little house off, because she was worried about, not getting landlocked in there in the back. So I think that it's gonna be driveways is what I think it's gonna be.
Okay. So I'm gonna bring it back to the commission. Does anybody within the commission want to, any more questions? Or do we have a recommendation to close the public hearing?
I move to close the public hearing.
Okay, do we have a second?
Seconded.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes have it. So
Aye.
public hearing is now closed. Bring it back within the commission to further discuss recommendations. Do we have any recommendations, discussion?
It makes sense to me that along Valley View is where commercial should be located.
Yep.
I'm pleased to see that the site plan has 90 to 100 feet to your back property line. That is really quite generous.
one more time?
It looks to me like it's somewhere in the.
Well, that's the problem. We don't know that. So that's.
Well, it's,
We do have the site plan.
actually, you can't interject. It's just amongst our commission.
Yes, all right.
So the public hearing is closed.
I'm really pleased to see that kind of distance, 90 to 100 feet, I think. And that's very reasonable in.
And it meets the city criteria and the county criteria.
Right.
So therefore, if it meets the requirements,
We should.
we must approve. So
I
we
move
have
that we recommend this to board of supervisors at.
approved.
I move to approve.
2021.
So, so we have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? You said second, so I'm gonna bring
Rick
it back.
was already moving or seconding.
Second, so, okay, all in favor of approving case number
To recommend
ZMA
approval.
2020-01? Approve?
Recommend
Roll call.
approval.
Aye.
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 Aye. Ayes have it. Approved. Move to the Board of County Commissioners now. Do we have any other,
So we do have one other
you're done.
piece of business,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
which is to review, amend, and adopt the rules of procedure for the Pottawattamie Zoning Commission. And in your packets, you will have the rules of procedure for the Pottawattamie County Planning and Zoning Commission. This all circumvents back to the change in state law that happened, to where all of our members have to come from the rural portion of Pottawattamie County, the area which they have jurisdiction over. And in the past, for several years, we've had 7 members. We are allowed to have 5 members. Due to the applicant pool decreasing is the reason why we bring this forth to the Planning Commission today. And so, through the rules, the changes that you will see through there all relate back to that change of state law and then the reducing of the members from 5 to 7. And so, when we talked to the county attorney's office on this, how do we get this changes made by the planning commission? We didn't, at first we weren't certain if it, since the board of supervisors appoints the planning commission, would it be a change that the board of supervisors would make? And after discussion with the county attorney, it was found that it was just within the rules of our Pottawattamie County Planning Commission that it was 7-member commission and not a 5-member commission. So we're asking that the commission that we have today go ahead and make these changes, and then we will approve these rules of procedure. Once the commission were to do that, then tomorrow on the Board of Supervisors agenda, we have on there the discussion with them about the change from going from 5 to 7, and they're aware of the reasonings behind that. We've kept them really up to date on that, and the hard position that the state put us in by making that effective immediately, not giving us any kind of leeway time. But we have struggled to gain new members, and with this change, we would be a full commission right now. And I think it would make it easier for us to maintain a 5-member commission than it would to increase to 5. And then Pam, if she has something to add to that.
I was just going to say, then it's easier to get our quorum also,
True.
it seems like. Sometimes we struggle to have 4 of our 7 here at certain times, so I just think it's easier to have our quorum.
And has it always been 7 members since
Ever since
1981? I was just looking
I
at the.
think so, based on the amendment date.
Yeah.
I believe so. Mhm.
I think that they just kind of immediately went with 7, and it looks like, I was really surprised at the amending dates, that it hadn't been changed since, it went from 81 to 04?
Yeah,
2000.
2000, I think.
81 to 2000.
81 to
20 years.
2000,
Yeah.
yeah.
20 years.
20,
I think that's a testament to being able to work within guidelines
Every
for a
20
good
years.
long time, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's a.
so the purpose is to go ahead and adopt.
Yes, adopt and approve, or how did Pam word that in
Review,
her?
amend, and adopt.
Review, amend, and adopt. So-
Review, amend, adopt. So do we have to?
I make a motion to do that.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion approves.
Okay.
Aye.
Very
Thanks,
good.
Rick. Thanks.
Adjourn.
Thanks, Rick.
Adjourned. Oh, yep,
Motion to
motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
I make,
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Everybody,
Aye.
yeah.
Aye.
Adjourned.